That is essentially what the voters overwhelmingly approved last November, so why not clearly state that in the resolutions and stay within the scope of what the voters approved? I also suggest a one-year term for the district with the millage question put before the voters at an election during 2026. I have attached marked up versions of Resolution 2, Exhibit B, with suggested edits, and I believe clearly state that the millage levied by the special assessment is solely for the fire department. I certainly don't profess to be an attorney, and as you noted, the attorneys that provided these resolutions are very capable. I'm sure the attorneys can modify the resolutions and exhibits as needed to clearly state that the desire of the DOT that the special assessment is solely to provide the funds for the fire department. This is obviously an important issue in Cucamonga Township. It would be better if the Cucamonga Board of Trustees could reach a consensus on how to move forward rather than be in the current 3-2 split. Perhaps modifying the resolution as suggested compromise the BOT could consider to get a consensus. Again, I support the historical 1 mil levy as approved by the voters of the Cucamonga Township Fire Department. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Respectfully, Tom Page, property owner. Parcels, numbers. This just clearly states we object to the proposed special assessment. We want to remain as a voted on millage as in the past. If the special assessment is put into place for 3 years, well, after 3 years, we'll return to vote for the future. If special assessment is only for 3 years, we'll return to the vote of the people. If the special assessment is only for 3 years and return to a vote of the people, we would not object. Thank you. John and Marlene Burton. 2057 Woodridge Road. This constitutes my formal objection to create a special assessment district. I would like this email entered as official communication for the special hearing on October 6, 2025. I am ready to express my objection to the creation of a special assessment district. This is an abuse of trust from this board and a clear lack of responsibility in doing their jobs. The board has known since November last year that the millage has an error, have had at least 2 opportunities to hold elections with other townships in Michigan to get correction and did not hold the election. There's even rumor out there that the previous law firm was willing to support the special election. It may not have cost the township anything. Why would the board take this proposal? I've heard people state that this board was elected to make these decisions, which is absolutely flawed. This exact question of funding for the fire department was proposed to by people who are significant. Ballot questions independent of any selection of board members. The people of this township explicitly were able to make this decision. It was theirs to make. Creating a special assessment district goes around the will of the people and takes control away from them. The people have the right to have proactive input in the discussion of their taxes and funding, not reactive. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. The special assessment takes the productive control away from the people and puts it in the winds of just 3 votes of the board. This is not acceptable. Nobody in this township voted for that, especially when the board has already proven that they cannot be trusted to weigh the relevant facts for a decision. Nobody on this board bothered to discuss with the county clerk the cost of a special election until Charlie did a little week ago. It's been over 10 months. He made this decision without relevant information. That's just decision-making and confidence. No valid reasons have been presented to the people of this township why the board is avoiding putting this on the ballot instead of doing the SAD. All of the so-called benefits of the SAD provided with the board's information sheet from the last special hearing are present in the situation with putting the millage back on the ballot as well. Plus, you give the people the control they deserve. The board should not have the ability to adjust the amount charged to the residents on an annual basis by just getting 3 people to agree to it. 2 board members are putting the will of the people as the priority and support creation of funding with the special election. It's a matter of if any of the 3 board members have enough character or integrity to do the right thing as well. I feel this push for SAD and reluctance to do the election is because of a personal vendetta by the supervisor against the previous law firm and attempt to bolster a lawsuit against them. Sincerely, Jeff Bass.
That was not me. That was me reading. So anybody got confused halfway through?
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing at 7:34.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
We did at the beginning.
You can, you don't have to.
Okay, roll call vote. Whalen?
Yes.
Bushano? Betty, yes. Schlander?
Yes.
Campbell?
Mr. Supervisor, I just wanted to indicate, I have Word versions of the resolutions up, so if the board does decide to make changes, I can make those in real time and redline.
I do believe that we would like Mr. Page make comments that were the same as what we had at last board meeting, where we would remove police, and she's got that chart. She might not, it was in her email.
Oh, yeah, good.
That's just the hard copy.
Yeah.
But the changes to remove police and ambulatory.
Yeah, so I just want to go through it line by line so that everyone's clear. There's a couple wording changes that might be different. Sorry. All right, I don't have that pulled up right now, but, all right, is that okay? All right. So to accomplish that, and I'm going to start with resolution number 2. So it looks like the first, and again, this was submitted by a member of the public with some handwritten changes. That's what I'm looking at when I say it is suggested, and you all get to decide what you want to do. I think the first piece of it is to change it from public safety special assessment, which is what the statute generally provides, and it's not only fire, but police, contracts, and emergency medical services. Is it the consensus of the board that you want that to just be for fire department? And I don't need a formal vote, but I want to hear everybody's on board with that. Okay. So if you give me just a moment, what I will do first is I'm going to change public safety to, actually I'm going to keep the title, I'm going to change it within it. I don't think we need to change the, I'm trying to think. Nothing really matters. Yeah, we can still call it public safety as long as we still have it for the fire department. What I will do is strike the paragraph as in the copy from the member of the public, the one that starts with whereas pursuant to Act 368 of 1978. That statute deals with emergency medical services, so if we're not going to provide for that, we can go ahead and delete that. Contract changes here. If I had a big screen, I could project my changes, but we're not that fancy today. And then in the paragraph underneath that, where it currently reads, whereas the township wishes to defray the cost of maintaining and operating its fire department and maintaining its contracts for police protection and emergency medical services. We would strike that last part, we'd strike and maintaining its contracts for police protection and emergency services, so that we're defining public safety services just to be for the fire department. And we'll strike the reference to Act 368 in the same section.
So, did you say that you were putting the fire department?
I did not change the title, I kept it public safety, but just took out, so we define public safety as being fire, unless you wanted to change the name of it. Not change the name of it?
I think it would behoove us to make sure that it's crystal clear.
I'm okay with fire department.
Okay. All right, and go back up to the top, we'll call it,
Fire department special
Fire
assessment.
Clear, that way it's easier.
yep, got it. So the title, so I'm still on the bottom of the first page, the whereas the township wishes to defray the cost of maintaining and operating its fire department. I just got to change it from public safety services. It doesn't read right to just say fire department there.
So that's what the fire department,
Yeah.
get rid of that maintaining contracts for police and fire.
Yep, I scratched that out, so maintain the cost, yeah, we can just say fire department there. Go back and change it. So where it says public safety services, in quotes, it now says fire department. Through a special assessment under Act 33 of 1951, we strike and Act 368 of 1978 as amended.
Strike 360.
Yep, because 368 was ambulance.
Yes.
We keep the next whereas clause because that's a statement of fact that the township board resolved its intention to proceed with establishing a special assessment district set October 6, 2025 for a public hearing. Whereas after notice was duly given by publication in First Class Mail, Township Board held a public hearing on October 6th at which the Township Board heard and considered objections to the proposed, I'm going to change that to just say special assessment district.
Can it say fire department?
Well,
Special assessment
it was-
district, same as what the
Yeah,
title was.
but what you heard was, though, objections to the way it was phrased originally. So I think we will just generically say to the special assessment district there,
Objections to-
and all other matters related to the special assessment district. All right, what really matters is what we put after the now therefore. So what I would propose for that language, I wrote it down here. So we're in paragraph number 1, the township board determines to defray the cost of equipping, operating, and maintaining the fire department in whole or in part. That just, in whole or in part meaning we're not necessarily funding the entire fire department. Instead, can be a supplement. Maintain the fire department through a special assessment. Yep, so I'm in paragraph 1, the township board determines to defray the costs of equipping, operating, and maintaining the fire department in whole or in part through a special assessment. Then paragraph 2, the special assessment district known as the fire department special assessment district number 1. Somebody asked me before the meeting why it's number 1. That's very customary because you could in the future, not saying they will, don't read anything into this, but legally you can have more than one special assessment district. So that's why we call the first one number 1. It doesn't mean there's going to be a number 2, but that is customarily how it's done. So the special assessment district known as the fire department special assessment district number 1, the district is hereby determined to consist of all real property parcels in the township except those that are exempt from the collection of taxes under the General Property Tax Act. Pursuant to Act 33, the cost will be spread across the taxable value of the parcels in the district. All right, and then since there was some concern about this language, another way in number 3 you could phrase it simply to say, I think it's fine the way it is, but you could say the township proposes an assessment of $1 million per year. Again, we're not confirming it today. Would you be more comfortable with that language?
I think it should say not to exceed 1 mil. If we're going to do it, and say it's not going to exceed 1 mil.
Could we say
Can we say that?
You can say it, just, but what this, I don't have a problem with that, and realize I don't vote, so I don't, whatever you guys decide is fine. My only concern is you are directing the creation of a role that is consistent of this, so your role is 1 mil.
Yes.
Your role is not a whole bunch of public, it's not, you don't have 7 different roles that are different amounts of less than 1 mil. So you're really resolving to prepare, you're going to do a roll for 1 mil. So we can say it here, as long as you know, we're doing a special assessment. If it doesn't make sense, I'm happy to start again.
No, I guess that's what we want, is not to exceed 1 mil.
Okay. But your role is 1 mil.
Yes.
Yes.
The roll is 1
Okay.
mil, but this states estimate, and I
Okay.
believe, well, Frank, I'm not looking for an estimate. The taxpayer said 1, so not to exceed 1 mil at maximum. I think that's what I heard from everybody here.
Well, I think
So
that's
the-
what the board said.
I'm not
Yeah.
suggesting that
No,
we
I'm
do
just
anything
saying.
more, I just want to be consistent with what your role is. The township estimates that the cost will equate to an assessment of not more than 1 mil per year. Is everybody more comfortable with that?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Next one, I want you guys to talk about and decide, are we sticking with 3 years?
I want us to know the next presidential election, that's where I think I should live.
So I've got you saying stick with 3 years.
I'm good with 3 years.
You're good with 3 years.
I'd be good with 1 year, because we've got a lot going on next year, and there's going to be big elections, because it's governor and 35th Senate seat.
If we were to put a millage on the ballot at this point, it would not be a millage.
I'm sorry.
If we were going to put a millage on the ballot, it would not be a 4-year millage, which is the cycle we need to get back on. This is what we're going to do. So any millage that we put forward during this time would have to be for a smaller period of time, a shorter term, and then we would have to follow that up in 2028 with a millage request that would again be new to get onto a 4-year cycle.
To be clear, you could do a millage for more than 4 years. You may not want to, but legally you could.
Well, if we want to get on that cycle, which
If
is
you
what
want to
we
be on that
discussed.
cycle,
Yes.
correct.
And that's what it's historically been for 20 years. So if that was the case, we are going to have to do a new millage either way. If we did a 1 year, as he's suggesting, we could do a 2-year stopgap and then do a 4-year in 28, if that's what's being suggested.
We would have only lost 1 year, and we're in litigation already for the year, plus expenses, plus everything else. Or, by the time all of this happens, if we did nothing, would be in litigation for 2 years.
Are we allowed to pass that?
This is way to do it, if you're gonna do
So
it.
this is the board discussion. Let me say, I'm not suggesting 1 year or 3 years. That's 100% a political decision, or policy decision, I should say. What I will say as a legal matter is if you set it for 3 years, you can always cancel it sooner.
So when on that special assessment vote in a year, if we have, say, a 2-year millage lined up, we would just cancel it.
Correct.
I'm good with 3 years.
Well, the problem with the 3-year is, that's what you're gonna gun for. And you're not gonna take time, because we just had almost a year go by, and there was no time given to even put contemplation about the millage. I would ask about the millage, but the millage to be voted on wasn't even contemplated, because this was being worked on as the stopgap, and we could have stopped the gap a long time ago.
So right now, for purposes of making changes, this is not your